Hello once again to the few, maybe 10 people who subscribe to my videos. Have another request. I'm trying to catch up with all these requests. I'm just getting back into videos, and I can only do guitar videos once again. So, this video is about riffing. The guy who wrote me has trouble with picking. I'm only going to give two techniques or pointers. Doing this, down picking one way, sounds good, keeps a nice consistent chunk, a nice consistent tone, keeps everything kind of equal. The only problem is you can only go so fast going down. Cool thing about it is your hand has to come back up, so why not get it back on the way up too. I would really try and integrate that into your playing and start slow. Like Mike Johnston, this drummer I watch on the internet, he said recently in one of his videos, practice does not make perfect, practice makes permanent. Because what you practice is what you're going to do permanently. So practice it right and you'll do it right from now on. So I say that to say, start slow. Don't go straight up to the guitar when you've only been playing 2 months and try and pluck as hard and fast as you can. Start slow, just do something simple like that where you can just get that motion. Also, pick the right picks, the right gauge strings. This is not my pick. I usually use Dunlop Tortex 60mm, the orange ones, just because they have that right consistency to where they fit what I play, and they fit the string gauge, because your gauge, if it's a lighter gauge, the strings are going to move as you go across them, and if you're playing stuff where you're plucking faster, you want something a little more rigid that's going to stay and be there for every stroke. So yeah, that's the big one. Instead of trying to keep up with something that's going really fast, up and down. Now, I was going to say try and do that with only downstrokes, but then some hot shot's going to come out of the woodwork and show me, so save it please. But up and down strokes. Start slow, get that motion right. Secondly, raking the strings flat, I do not do. I do what I call cutting. It's where you almost like you're cutting the strings, because if you have a lot more resistance when you're going over the strings when you're raking it. But if I'm playing fast, I just turn the pick sideways and it just, you'll feel it. Try it out. So that's another technique I try to employ. It's called cutting. So also you mentioned about tuning. My only advice for that is get a tuner. You'll develop naturally what the strings are supposed to sound like when they're right over time. I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to try and teach yourself how to hear when they're in tune. Just use a tuner and get used to what they feel and sound like when they're right. And naturally it'll come along. Use the tools that are in front of you, and your natural ability will follow. And that just comes with time. That's not something that can be forced. So I hope those things help out. And I do know how to play the riff that is impossible to figure out in Rose of Sharon. And this is it, so take it for what it's worth. And there's a video on YouTube where Adam and Joel, the guitarist for Killswitch, they do a little instructional video on how to play it. So look it up, but I think it's a pretty cool riff. go into that because that's just repetitive with just a guitar. So I hope that helped out, and once again, please let me know if you have any more questions about anything I can explain on the guitar. I think I'm going to try and play Back Burner from August Burns Red next. It's just a very fast song, so I got to get that muscle memory right before I try and put it on YouTube. But yeah, let me know if that helped, and I'll see you soon.